that what they call the Silent Cartographer is somewhere under this island. The Cartographer is a map room that will lead us to Halo's control center.
The Silent Cartographer is the name of the 4th mission of Halo Combat Evolved's campaign. Though the overall game itself helped to redefine the FPS genre on consoles and had a beautifully crafted story, the actual gameplay and map design of Halo's campaign levels left little to be desired. Today, I am going to talk about what I believe to be the greatest example of these elements in the whole game, the Silent Cartographer. The Silent Cartographer is designed as an open island, meaning that you can explore the entire area whichever way you like. Exploration is a key factor in this mission. For example, though you are initially encouraged to move up the beach to the right, the mission does not lambast the player for turning left. Instead, you are rewarded with the first skull location and, further up, additional weapons and a warthog. With 2 more warthogs easily available to the player before entering the final portion of the underground facility, the mission encourages players to explore the island and follow their own route to each objective. Speaking of the objectives, this mission has 2 primary locations for you to choose from to visit first, though you must visit both to advance the mission. While players are directed to the Cartographer first after an intense landing battle on the beach, a trip to the facility on the other side of the island leads you to shut down the security for the aforementioned Cartographer, as well as saving the player time in bypassing the locked door in this facility. The route to the final objective, the map room, is as open as the exterior of the island, and there are a number of ways you can traverse the Cartographer's corridors that will lead you to the objective. Each path is littered with enemies and has its own level of risk and reward. More common examples of this risk-reward payoff in the Silent Cartographer are seen when receiving additional weapons, vehicles, and even power-ups. Although in Halo Combat Evolved there is always a weapon or 2 lying around for you to use, the UNSC weapons in this mission seem a little more scarce when compared to the other levels. This is why you feel smarter when figuring out combat maneuvers to save your ammunition, or find a unique weapon just out of reach. One such example of this is seen with the Rocket's Pelican, after you come up for air from the Cartographer's security facility. After you burn through most of your ammo dealing with the previous hunters, jackals, elites, and grunts in the area, you are rewarded with plenty of stock for a rocket launcher and a fresh hog. To ensure that you get to the crashed Pelican below the sheer cliff drop, overshields are placed right outside the entrance. There is always plenty of choice in which weapons or vehicles you use, or don't use, in Halo, and the Silent Cartographer emphasizes that perfectly. The Silent Cartographer also throws every kind of enemy in the fleet at you, forcing you to use what you learned from the previous 3 missions to outwit and defeat each type. Grunts, jackals, hunters, stealth elites, elite miners and mages, and an elite zealot. The player is given plenty of opportunities to practice different strategies of clearing out these enemies in this literal sandbox of a level. Beach puns. Scores of grunts and jackals, dozens of elites, and several pairs of hunters stand in the way of completing this mission. While the enemies themselves aren't tough to take down, the variety and abundance of Covenant in the Silent Cartographer makes the mission a lot of fun to replay and blast through, alone or with your friends. As this mission is set on an island, the map is obviously not as large as the second mission of the game's map, Halo. However, both levels are equally diverse. As Halo relied on horizontal movement across the wide grassy plains of Alpha Halo, the Silent Cartographer lends itself more to vertical player mobility. This is evidenced by the hugely vertical layout of the underground Forerunner facilities, stretching deep into the ring world. Even before reaching the map room itself, you experience the verticality of the mission. A couple instances of this are the aforementioned cliff fall down to the Rocket's Pelican, and the steep, grunt-laden incline up to the security facility. By using verticality, the player has to change their strategic thinking from what is in front of my position to what is above my position. This makes for an interesting switch in the standard horizontal level design of the mission, leading up to that point. Like the other levels in Halo Combat Evolved, this one has a couple of collectible skulls and a terminal scattered throughout the level, in the anniversary graphics only. The first skull, Famine, is found on a plateau to the left of the starting area, which is also the area where the rocket's Pelican can be found later in the mission. The second skull, Bandana, is found right outside the console room in the security facility and is one of the hardest skulls to obtain in the game. Reaching this skull requires either a grenade jump or a co-op effort through the use of respawning. This is also another example of the use of verticality present in the mission. The single terminal is located on the path to this facility, on the wall of the mechanism that opens at the end of the mission, in an area I affectionately like to call the Hunter Arena. I cannot talk about the Silent Cartographer without mentioning the amazing graphical overhaul that was first provided with the 2011 release of Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. The stunning level of detail, alongside the 1080p 60fps port of the game to Halo the Master Chief Collection, breathes a remarkable new life into this classic mission. Added to this, the remastered soundtrack highlights the original score by Martin O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore beautifully. Most of the previously mentioned moments in this video essay would not be as effective as they are without the soundtrack setting the right tone at the right time. Overall, it's safe to say that the Silent Cartographer never misses a beat.